What's going on, guys? This is Carroll from mymmanews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. Tonight, I have the pleasure of speaking to the cat daddy himself, Kahler. Kyle, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic. Always a pleasure to speak to yourself, a Marine, and right now the defending Cage Wars lightweight champion. How's it feel to be the champion going into this fight?
It feels good, man. It feels like you know, a a milestone, so to say. I always knew I'd get the belt. It was a matter of when. Now that I finally have it, um, nothing's changed. I'm still training harder than ever, man. Like I'm in like one of the best shapes I've been in a really long time. So it feels really good, man. It's humbling at the same time as well. But nothing. I don't feel the same, really.
Now you're on a 2-fight win streak, but the last time you fought was January 31st of 2020. So we're over a year since your last fought. Obviously, everyone knows that pandemic. Everyone's in the same boat. What have you learned about yourself as a fighter since your last fight?
I like to fight, that's for sure. um, I was fighting almost what every 2.5 months, so to say.
Yeah, you're keeping
So
busy.
yeah, like I think 2019 I fought 5 times. So I was
Yeah.
like keeping busy, man. So I was I definitely love the fight, man, and it also made me realize how important this shit is to me because when the gyms are closed, when everything was just shut down, I was miserable, man. Yeah, I was chilling home, watching TV, drinking fucking beer, um, you know, doing quarantine stuff. That's only so much fun for a month, maybe tops, and then you're like, oh my god,
Hmm.
I need to do something. I would literally there's a hill in front of a highway around the corner for me, and my brother and I would go there and train, you know, just to do something. Um, so yeah, it definitely made me realize what this means to me and that how much a part of my life it is to me. Because without it, man, I don't know where I'd be or what I'd be or who nothing.
Awesome. It's cool that you were able to keep busy during the crazy pandemic and keeping busy. Um, you know, what were you able to work on the most during the pandemic? Were you like, I guess without like going into super detail and giving away a game plan for your fight, were you able to work on anything specifically during the pandemic? Something you wanted to work on and something you felt you needed that extra, you know, uh, skill work at?
Yeah. So I'm more of a striker. Everybody knows that, and so I definitely worked a lot on my ground game during the pandemic. Just tighten up a lot of the holes that I've had, um, which you're supposed to do as a fighter. You're always striving to get better.
Hmm.
Not once throughout the pandemic that I said, yeah, I'm good where I'm at. I'm like, I was more frustrated because I couldn't get better. If anything, I was just maintaining, and I'm always striving to get better, always, always, always. And you got it, especially in this sport. The higher echelon you go. Um, so yeah, I was definitely able to tighten up my grappling a lot. My wrestling's better. My ground game is a hell of a lot better. Um, striking too. All aspects I was able to work on and get better. And um, back in March, I want to say I was actually getting prepared to probably go pro, fight down in Miami at Titan FC. So I was training my ass off to go pro, and then that fell through. And then there was supposed to be a fight, and I was possibly going to take Nashville. That fell through. So I've been constantly just training, and just in that fight, in that fight mentality, it's been set for the past 6 months.
So you were thinking about taking just to get a fight to turn pro and take those fight. One, are you happy you did or didn't take that or that it didn't work out? And what do you believe you need to do or to be successful at that level as a professional? Is there anything you're doing in your training to bring you to the next level?
Um, sorry, my cat. She's being a
It's
little
the
naughty.
cat daddy.
Yeah. Um, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I always wanted to defend my belt. I don't think you're
Hmm.
until you defend your belt. Winning the title is easy. You know, or I should say it's not easy, but it's hard. Defending is even harder. Um, so I'm kind of glad in a way, but at the same time, I'm getting older. I'm 27 now,
Hmm.
and watching the UFC and these guys that are 22, 23 fighting in it. I'm like, what the hell, man? Granted, they've been doing it a lot longer than I have, um, but everything works out for a reason. And as far as the go pro, just maintaining the basics. Basics wins fights. Everybody knows my gym is meat and potatoes, where I train out of. Stop being so naughty. Um, yeah. So as a pro, you gotta, what's the old saying? Master the basics, or basics wins fights. So
Awesome. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Definitely fundamentals get the game done, and won. I feel like in your career though, we've seen you kind of you were very like you were a brawler type guy, and then as your fights have gone on, all the way up until your title fight, you were picking your shots in the title fight and did a great job against the guy who I believe was either a purple belt or a black belt out of a highly skilled jiu-jitsu gym, and you kept the fight off the ground where you wanted it and dictated it. What was the turning point in your career to bring you to this title fight? And you dominated the title fight. Like what brought you to this point?
oh man, just reassuring myself like this is what I want to do, and just keep training hard, because the best guys are the guys in the gym, always that are always in the gym. It's no secret. The more you train at something, the more you work at something, the better you're gonna get. You're never
Hmm.
at doing something more, you know. So I just had to keep, I just told myself, you know, this is what I want to do. I had a few setbacks, and like I said, I always knew I was gonna do great in the sport so far. I know I'm not trying to sound like I'm at the top of the heap in the UFC or anything like that. I'm just an amateur out of New York, and I have an amateur title. But with that being said, just I tell myself this is what I want to do, and it's just time to shine. It's time to go.
Awesome. So you're defending your title fight against um, Harley Locklear, who's a pretty tough guy. He's pretty. You got quick hands. What are the biggest challenges you think he presents to you?
Um, well, like you said, he's got quick hands. He's a big puncher. So I mean, that's obviously going to be challenging for me. Just to fight somebody who likes to do what I do, and that's punch. Strike, stay on the. He's got pretty good takedown defense as well, from what I see. And I think the last guy he fought was a purple belt. Um, Granted, that's more jiu-jitsu. It's jiu-jitsu, is not necessarily wrestling. I think I do definitely have better wrestling than that other guy. But I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I think biggest challenge for this fight is just not expecting what I expect from him. Yeah, I know he knows I'm gonna expect him to want to just strike with me, but for all I know, this guy's been training with like D1 wrestlers. He might take me down and just hold me down. So I'm preparing for all aspects of this fight. I'm preparing for the best Harley Locklear that anybody's ever gonna see. You know, like I mean, I always do for my opponents. I always want the best of them. I don't want to fight anybody that's not training hard. I want them in.
Makes sense.
So I'm expecting it. And if it's a cakewalk that night, cool. If not, I I didn't expect it to be. It's, I'm not going to be disappointed either way.
Awesome, awesome. And weight you said before we got on is doing pretty well. You're only about 9 pounds over,
Yeah.
which is awesome from a few weeks out from your fight.
Yeah.
What have you done differently for your weight and stuff? Like, have you been eating healthier, just training more,
Um,
just staying active?
I think yeah, I think it's a combo of eating healthier, um, more year round, so to say. Um, like I said, back for that fight I was going to take down in Miami, I was going to do that 145. So I got down to about like 160, and then it fell through. So instead of blowing the hell back up, I just been kind of maintaining around where I'm at now. And got up to like 170. I think the highest was like 175, but that was after a weekend of just
Binging.
yeah binging. Drinking beer. Speaking of, that, by the way, I just want to say is the only reason why I'm having beer because the weight's so good. I'm not an alcoholic, people. I haven't drank in 2 fucking weeks. Fuck off. Okay. All right. So yeah, just living a healthier lifestyle, man. Just and eating right. Eating better, and it's mentally refreshing too because I'm having like pancakes, but like they're like protein pancakes. I'm eating fun stuff I normally wouldn't do, and the weight. I'm training my ass off, and it's paying off. It's looking good. Um, so that right there, I guess I don't have to focus on the cutness, per se. I definitely 100% focus on the fight itself. Because there's been times where I'm more worried about the cut. I don't even care about the fight. Like I'm like fuck the fight. I just ate or something. And then it's like, oh yeah, I got to fight tomorrow. Um, you know, this is not that at all. I am like super like I. This is it's not even a weight cut. Yeah, I don't even know how to say it. It's just I'm there. I could weigh in tomorrow if I had to.
Now you're headlining the show.
Yes.
I believe this is the first time you're headlining a show,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be at the Albany Armory up in Albany. Different venue than we've been in for a handful of shows out of the casino or at the moment. Expectations for yourself inside the Armory as the headline.
Um, Win, win. Put on a good show and win. That's the only expectations I have. You know, winning, top priority, of course. Put on a good show. I mean, I think personally, I always put on a good show. You know, I
Absolutely do. Yep.
I'm not here to tickle somebody's nuts. I'm here to punch their head off. You know what I mean? I'm here for a good time. I'm not gonna be able to do this sport forever. So I'm fighting like it's my last time. Like I'm ever gonna step in the cage. Every fight I have. So those really just my expectations to win, put on a good show, um, and hopefully that's enough for everybody else.
Awesome. Now you fought a good amount of your fights at featherweight. Now you're the lightweight champion.
Mm.
Locklear's also fought a few fights at featherweight. He's now challenging for the lightweight title.
Mm.
Is there a reason why you went up to lightweight, or is there anything? I know you have a teammate whose kid's like a prodigy
Yeah.
at featherweight. Is that the reason you moved, or?
No, so it's a funny story. The reason why I moved up a weight class is because I was in school full time, and it was just a lot to like have to cut weight and go to school full time, this and that. So I literally asked Duff. I was like, "Hey man, can I take this next fight at 155? Just because I got finals coming up and stuff." Oh no, that was in November. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I had finals, something like that. I don't know. It was something like that. But I was like, "Yeah, man, I got a lot of projects or something. So like I just need to not be so stressed out, and just tired." And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that." And then I won that first one pretty fast. And so I was like, all right, let me get a title shot. And Slim was like, all right. And I got a title shot. Like, all right. Then now I'm the champion. I'm like, oh, well, it's working out pretty good so far. Brendan, he just, he's growing up. He's getting bigger. The kid's literally still the kid. He's just growing up. He's getting that man strength. So it's harder. It's hard for him to make 135. So he moved up a weight class, and I'd say it's working out pretty well for him so far too.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, and speaking to Duff, how he was saying how Kennedy was struggling to make weight just because his body's growing. He's getting older, and he's how old is he? He's like what, 19, 20?
21 right now, yeah.
Oh, he's 21 now. Okay, yeah, I forget that we missed a whole year because of the damn pandemic. But yeah, it's crazy. Like he's a pretty talented young man, and yeah. So right now, I'm curious to see him and a couple other top featherweights go at it as well. So,
Yeah.
so right now he's got to be contending for a title soon.
Oh yeah, well for another one at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
because remember I don't know he beat Geisler and took that belt from him.
Was that
And
the 145? That was the featherweight one?
yep,
Okay, so he is the champion at
yeah,
featherweight.
that was a
Okay,
great night, man. I remember that was Duff's birthday. You know, I knew I was gonna win. I knew I was gonna win. So I was like, Brennan, you better, you gotta, pull your weight, man. And Duff, he got, two of his fighters, got two titles on his birthday of all times. That was a good night right there. That was a
that
good
is
night.
a good night for a coach,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
That's awesome. So Duff's birthday is the 31st of January, huh?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. So all right, so MVMMA holds 2 titles right now. That's that I know of.
Yeah.
There's so many of you guys. You're like a little army. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few, and I'm excited for this card too because my teammates, Jake and Chris, they're making their debuts, and I'm really excited for both of them. Chris is a tough guy, man. He just does not quit. Jake too, man. Like they'll fight, and if you cut off all their limbs, they'll find a way to still fight you. So
that's
you can
awesome.
you can expect them both to have really good fights as well.
I won't lie. I would kind of want to see them fight each other without limbs.
Yeah, just chop them up. All right, go.
Uh, Kyle, what is something about MMA and fighting that draws you to it? You're pretty laid back guy. You always want to have fun. After the fights, you're saying some funny shit. You're looking to get laid and have some beers. What about it just draws you to it? You're like the perfect guy for it too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I don't know, man. I don't want to get all cliche and shit, but I mean, I haven't had the worst life growing up, but it was far from good. Let me tell you, man. I could tell you some of the shit, and you'd be like, "Holy fuck, man!" Granted, somebody else could, tell me some stuff, and I'd be like, "Holy fuck, man!" So,
Mm-hmm.
that definitely plays an aspect to it. You gotta have some hurt in your life. Um, it's just a good way to release, man. I just honestly, I knew it was right for me when I thought to myself, what would I be doing if I didn't have this? And I don't have an answer. I legitimately don't have an answer. I really don't know what I do. Yeah, I probably work a job, but like, what else? Would I'd probably be dead, maybe. I don't know.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
what I mean.
last thing we would want, but
I don't know, and that's how I knew it was for me. That's what draws me to it. Is I don't know where I'd be in life or who I'd be personally if I didn't have this. And now that I have it, I'm in full swing and effect for the past going on. I'll, August will be 4 years I've been doing this. So
wow.
these past 4 years have been pretty nuts. Um, a lot of up and down, but it's made me a better person. I could always be a better person, of course, but physically, mentally, um, yeah. I mean, it's just fun too. It's fun because I like to learn. I always like to learn. I'm always learning new shit. You learn something new every day. No matter you've seen it 1,000 times. Everybody's seen a rear naked choke 1,000 times. Especially
Mhm.
they've been in this. But when I see him teach the new guys that stuff, um, little details, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. All right. Oh, defend it like that. Got it. And it's just you're constantly learning, even if it's stuff you already know. You're constantly learning, and you're getting in good shape while you do it. And that also is a characteristic of what draws me to it as well.
Awesome. I know I've asked you this question before. What is something about you that we don't know that you would want to share with someone, with everyone? Excuse me, the fans.
Man. Well, I finally got my license, so that's good.
Like your driving license, or
Yeah.
oh, really? All right. So you never had it, or
Never had it. I got it when I was 26.
interesting. All right. What was the reason? 'Cause you live upstate New York, and it's
Yeah.
not like it's walking distance for anything.
Well, I live in Utica, and I live kind of like in the center of the city.
Oh, all
So
right.
I walk like before I had my car. Walk down the street, works there. I walk that way, the gym's there. I walk that way, the store's right there. I walk the other way, I was just literally smack dab in the center. Um,
Mhm.
and I still go for walks and stuff too because it's fun, especially when you're high. It's a good time. See some squirrels or that you could think are monkeys or something. You're like, oh shit. Um, so yeah, that's always fun too to walk as well. But yeah, no, I just literally I was just doing fine without it. You know, I'd take an Uber, I'd walk. You know, I just never wanted it. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, well, I'm kind of bored. Maybe I should go get my license. And I did, and then I got a car. And I'm like, all right, well, technically I got the car before the license, but you know, I was like, all right, and it kind of glad it happened too. You know,
That's pretty good. Good for you, man. Congrats. What kind of car did you purchase?
I got a Nissan Rogue, man.
All right, nice, nice. There you go. Now, were
20.
you nervous when you first got on the road? Were you kind of like
Now,
slow, or you just put the pedal to the metal?
yeah, I mean, drove right. I mean, I drove before.
Okay.
Like when I was in the Marines. Oh, look at that. Speaking of,
Yep.
when I was in the Marines, I was actually a heavy equipment operator, and so I'm crazy thing is you didn't have to have a license.
I was about to ask. They didn't require
Yeah,
a license.
yeah.
Just get in there and drive that fucking thing.
It was funny. My gunny's like, we got fucking Marines that don't have a license. They're scared to drive a car, but they're driving a fucking
Tank.
yeah, Kalmar 240 with the tires that are literally taller than me, and and thicker than Brock Lesnar. You know that thing gets split rim, you're gone. Like you're in pieces. And I'm just like I'm in a bulldozer, nearly flipping the bitch. I'm like, whatever. You know? But yeah, no. So I mean, I would drive that stuff, and I don't know, not necessarily I never wanted my license. I just it wasn't like a priority, and
Gotcha.
like whatever, I'll get it now. And I mean, I always knew how to drive, just
Yeah.
not legally.
That's pretty fun. I didn't realize that they didn't require a license in the army.
Yeah, for heavy equipment operators, they don't. For motor T, you're driving 7 tons with people in it, that get in the back of it. So yeah, you gotta have your license for
Okay.
that, and then you gotta get license on that vehicle. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Interesting.
crazy. Yeah,
Learn
crazy.
something new every day, right?
Literally, yeah.
That's
Very.
awesome. So how did you Memorial Day just passed. How did you celebrate Memorial Day? I know you're a veteran. How did you celebrate the holiday?
Um, I just what the hell did I do? I don't know. I think yeah, I just kind of hung out. I mean,
Hung out?
I was just too tired. I was sore from training, so I just kind of relaxed. I trained 6 days a week, man. So I'm just took that day off. Well, it was only 5 days that week I trained, so I had an extra day off. So I just chilled. I just watched some Game of Thrones, and talked to some of my Marine buddies. Um, you know, I'm not like one of those people that I understand what it's for.
Absolutely.
I'm not like the vice president's going have enjoy the long weekend. Like I know like what it means. Like it's for those who passed. Who gave the ultimate sacrifice. That if it wasn't for them, you and I wouldn't be here right now. We'd be speaking
Absolutely.
like German or Spanish or something. You know what I mean? Like Russian, Chinese. If it wasn't for them, so it's a deep thing to me because I lost a couple friends. Um, so yeah, I just kind of hung out and just thought about them.
Nice. Just spend the time with yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Always a good weekend, good holiday. Absolutely.
There.
Kyle, this fight's coming up. I know I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a great headliner.
Yes.
What is the prediction for this fight? What is your prediction?
Win.
Win. It doesn't matter how. Just
Doesn't matter.
win. You have no way it's going to happen. Just winning.
Whatever he gives me. Whatever he gives me, I'm gonna take it. Whatever he gives me. He gives me a
Awesome.
submission, gives me, whatever he gives me, I'm taking it. I'm for
Awesome.
all aspects.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a banger and probably one of the best main events we've seen in a long time. So I'm
Yes.
looking forward to it. Anything you want to throw out there? Anyone you want to recognize? Any sponsors for this fight? Anything like that?
Well, I'll thank my cat for interrupting me. A few times. Thanks, Kratos. You little shit. Um, I want to thank Duff, of course. I want to thank everybody at my gym that helps me train and get better every day. Um, told Porno Mike, I gave him a shout out, so that's for you, Porno Mike. My man's got 2 kids now, so he's father Porno Mike. Um, I also want to give a shout out to one of my buddies, Jamie King. Um, during the pandemic and everything, he lost his brother and his mother within 6 months of each other. So he's one of the strongest guys I know, man. So he it definitely inspires me. So this one's for him. So I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for him as well.
That's awesome. God bless him. That's tough. Kyle, it's always a pleasure chatting with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you get in there. Enjoy that brewski, especially being you're in great shape right before the fight. I'm looking forward to this barn burner. It's going to be a great one. I'm going to have the pleasure, as always, to commentate the fight alongside Will Barry. And then, I'm just pumped to see it, pumped to see you in person, pumped to see everyone in person. Finally, I'm looking forward to getting back to normal, as whatever normal may be nowadays.
Yeah. It's pretty normal right now. So for the most part, which is good. I honestly thought New York was gonna be like one of the last states to lift the mask mandate and everything.
That's what I thought.
I was actually thinking of moving down to Nashville, just until this shit was over, and then a week later they're like, okay, it's pretty much over. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll stay. So here we are. I just wanted to fight, man. Like I was getting too antsy. A year and a half is too goddamn long, man.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to it. How can they follow you on Instagram if they want to follow you?
Cat Daddy MMA. Pretty self-explanatory.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, follow Cat Daddy MMA or Cat Daddy MMA on Instagram. He posts some pretty good stuff. Check it out. Main event Friday, June 25th at the Armory, Cage Wars 46. It's gonna be a barn burn. It's gonna be a great one. Cat Daddy, Kahler, it's always a pleasure. This is Carroll's Corner MMA podcast, and we're signing off.